some voices are developed and some voices are deposited by God. Our guest today is not just a preacher, he is a bridge between generations. A man who stepped into the pulpit before most found their identity and never stepped out of purpose. From rebuilding churches to rebuilding people, from Brooklyn to the nations, he carries a message that is not just about what God will do, but what God is doing right now. Legacy Chat family, help me to welcome a leader, a visionary, a voice for this generation, Pastor Travis T. Haynes.
Well, thank you.
Welcome, my brother.
Welcome. Thank you.
How are
man.
you?
I'm blessed, man.
How are
I'm blessed.
you?
I'm honored to be here, man.
Oh, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. We are so glad to have you here. I've always, we've worked together for, several years.
Absolutely.
And I got to hear him bless families with his wonderful musical talents. And on occasion, I get to hear him preach, which is no less as marvelous.
Oh, man. Thanks.
So you're best. You are so blessed. Why don't you share with my audience your background? I know a little bit, but they may not. Well, tell us, are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
Actually, the funny part is a lot of people think I'm the only child.
Right.
But I actually have 3 older brothers,
Okay.
older sister. I'm the youngest boy, and I have a younger sister right behind me. So it's 6 of us all together.
And where were you born?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, Brownsville.
What? You're a Brooklyn boy.
Brooklyn.
Born, okay.
People think I'm from the South. They're like, "Are you from the South?" I'm like, "I'm from South Brooklyn, Brownsville." I'm from South side of Brownsville.
That's about as south as you got,
Yeah,
right?
that's awesome.
Wow. And what was your early education like?
Well, I grew. I went to school in 298. Yes, 298. But going to school, I was the kid that everybody hated to see coming. I was that kid. I was gonna be the kid that's gonna give the teachers a run for their money. So by the time my mother would take me to school, she would get a call. "Hey, come get." Not even come. "Hey, can you talk to him? Come pick him up, get him out of here." But as I grew up and started tapping into my gift, things began to change. So.
Wow. So you were a super busybody.
Oh yeah, I was that child. Like, "Oh, he coming today."
We hope that he misses school. Huh? No. Wow. Okay. So you're definitely born and raised in Brooklyn. You were on the tail end of the family, just about, but the youngest boy, which gets some privileges.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that. Now, I was told you started preaching at 13. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Actually, 12. My first sermon was at 12.
At 12?
I was invited to a platform service at Mount Carmel Church of Christ Disciples of Christ in Newburgh, New York. And they gave me a little few minutes. My leg was shaking. Next thing I knew, I was walking down the aisle, preaching. I was going off. And they said, "As a preacher, good God."
Tell me about your faith in the early. Were you brought up in the church?
I was born and raised in the church, St. Matthew's Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ. My pastor was Mother Eliza Brown. And she was a powerful woman, man. I was very close to her. I started banging on the piano. They used to say, "Get him off the piano." And she said, "Leave him alone." And she would just pray over. That's how I started playing, actually. She would pray over my hands. And I started seeing patterns in the keys. Didn't know they were called chords. So she would have me counting money with the trustees. I would usher. I was on the senior choir. I'm a little boy.
And this a little boy doing this.
And I was in every area of the church, just operating.
Wow.
That was my foundation, right? 232 Buffalo Avenue.
She saw that.
Yeah, she saw it.
See, that's amazing, man, when people are so connected with God.
Absolutely.
And people try and push you away because they think you're an annoyance.
Yeah.
But here's a beautiful woman of God who saw something in you and was like, "Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Let's give him more to do."
Yeah, she got on the drums.
So does that mean you're self-taught?
Self-taught. Never had a lesson. Never had a lesson. Just prayed over my hands. Started seeing patterns in the keys. My father was playing a little bit as well. He used to play a little bit and sing, and I would see what he was doing, and I just started kind of following his steps.
That's amazing.
Took it further. So.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So do you feel you chose your call, or did your call choose you?
I believe that God chose me from the womb. I couldn't run from it. It was like it was just in me.
It was in you.
It was just always in me. I had an old, they would say, he's an old man. He just, it's just.
Oh, they said you had that old spirit?
They said he has an old soul. As I was always serious. I watched. The way I would speak sometimes, I'm like, this guy is, he been here before.
Wow. So you went from banging on the keys to actually getting your fingers coordinated and hitting chords.
That's it.
And now you're slowly harmonizing,
picking it up,
and picking up, and no formal training.
No formal training.
And you are awesome right now.
Thanks, Dr. Sir.
Wow. So at 12, you started preaching, and then you started. Were you getting preaching opportunities at St. Matthew?
Yep, at St. Matthew, I would be the Sunday school secretary. I would do Sunday school teaching.
Okay. At what age is this?
This was 12, 13, 10. I was young.
So you're teaching grown folk
at a young age.
They didn't pull the kids aside for you to teach. They had you teaching everybody.
I was teaching everybody.
Wow.
I was churches. Dr. James R. Even at 14, 15, I would actually go and open up his church every Tuesday night on the corner of Bushwick and Fanchon and open up the prayer service before everybody got there.
Really?
And when I came in, I was singing and praying until the people came in.
My God. Did you understand the weight of what you were carrying at your age?
You know what? I really didn't understand it.
Right.
I was just saying to myself, like, wait a minute, what's happening? Like, it was just something. It was natural.
It was natural because that's what you was brought up.
It was natural. I wasn't thinking.
How were you received by outside people when they see this little boy?
They were actually amazed.
Okay.
They were amazed. One lady, I was at one church. She came to me. She said, "I know this little boy." Mm-hmm, she said, "I take the bus with him every morning." And she remembered me because I was carrying my prayer oil on the bus. And I would be talking to the driver sitting in the front. I'd be praying for people on the bus on my way even to high school. My first year of high school. And that's how she knew me. She was like, "Wow, this guy, I know him."
Okay.
So it was just, I don't know. I can't explain it. I just can't explain it.
Just a gift from God.
Yeah, I really can't explain it. I can't. It's just like natural.
Wow. People hear Pastor Trav and they feel your energy, your strength, and your authority. What did it cost you to become that voice?
It cost me my life.
Your whole life.
My life. When I think about it, it's like I've been doing this my whole life. Even when I tried to be like everybody else. Mm-hmm. They would come to my mom, this boy he's bad, but there's something else about him we love. Even when I tried to blend in, I couldn't blend in. Even in high school, they called me preacher.
Okay.
In elementary school and junior high school, they called me bishop. That was where's Travis? They know bishop. And I couldn't. I'm trying to holler at girls. They're like, "You sound like a preacher." I just couldn't.
Right.
It was just in me. So it cost me my life. I've been pastoring since 17.
Wow. Okay.
17 years old. So most of my life I've been.
That's not when Pastor
Mother Brown passed away.
And you were around that age.
I was around. She died when I was 12. So the church went without a pastor.
Oh, and then they finally asked you to
take it over.
Take it over at 17.
And the church actually went down to nothing. After she passed, there were some things that happened.
Sure.
In the church, a lot of the older people died out. Some people left, and it was only a few people there to build the structure. It was bad.
Was it?
And I had to build it from the rubble.
Oh, wow.
From nothing, literally.
Yeah.
The city would have took it. It would have been condemned. But God used me and a couple of other people to build it back to where it is. So since 17, pastoring up until now, which I just celebrated 21 years.
Yes, 21 years. You're grown. You're legal now.
Legal now. I can hang out late. So literally my life. Sometimes I wish that, I had children. I'm like, I'm 30. I don't have children yet. I'm not married yet. And, I feel like a lot of my life was put on hold because I was doing what I was.
Are you seeing a window of opportunity to incorporate it now that you've grown? So you've grown now.
Oh yeah.
You're legal now.
It's time.
So you.
It's time. Listen, it's time. I love the Lord, but I need a wife too.
I need a wife too. You heard that, ladies? He needs a wife, and not just any wife.
Yeah,
he needs a special one.
Absolutely.
Oh, I was hearing a wonderful word on that. That you need one that God appointed for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very
because
important, because I think that's what took me so long, because you have people that might want to be with you not because you are Travis. They don't want the man Travis.
Right.
They might want pastor, and they want to be the first lady.
Yes.
They won't be able to relate to the man Travis, because the reality is, at the end of the day, I love the Lord, but I'm human.
That's right.
And I need somebody that's able to deal with my humanity. Hey, I love to watch movies. I love music. I don't just want to listen to church music all day. I want to talk about the Lord. I want to live my life. Have that balance.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people feel that you have to be holier than thou, and you can't enjoy things that the Lord has blessed you with, because they expect you to be broken and anyway.
And they're the most miserable people that you would ever. And some of them, I hate to say it, I'm learning it. Everybody know I'm a realist. That most of the people that's hardcore like that, you supposed to be this. If they closet door open up and fall out, we might be shot.
Right?
Hold on, wait a minute.
You're passing all this judgment.
Right. Look at this coming out your closet.
Look at you. My God. Well, that brings me up to the topic that I heard you have a background in psychology.
Yes, actually, I graduated from NIAC. Not NIAC. I went to NIAC early for theology, but I graduated from Toro College in 2018. Then I graduated again in 2020 with my bachelor's in psychology.
Now, what made you pursue psychology?
For some reason, I always had this thing of understanding people.
Right.
And I said, you know what, man, I always want to understand human behavior and how people think and so forth. And I want to be able to better help them. I want to go in this field. And I realized once I went to school, I'm like, wait a minute, I love this. And it gives me a little bit more patience, because being a pastor, you have to deal with a lot of people, a lot of personalities. And I'm realizing that if you can see the problem, that's not the problem most of the time.
Okay.
So it helps you to. And Jesus is a book entitled Jesus, the Greatest Therapist That Ever Lived.
Right.
And it talks about how he was able to reach people and impact them because he was able to understand them. If he talked to people that dealt with cattle, he talked about sheep and goat.
Right.
If he dealt with agriculture, he talked about wheat and tear,
That's right.
He talked to fishermen. He knew how to talk about fish.
Right.
You dealt with architects. He talked about building, the stone builders. He just knew how to meet everybody where they were so they could come to where they need to be. And that was really one of my key reasons for even going to school for psychology.
Which is actually an excellent thing. Have you noticed that there's always been a little controversy of if you seek counseling and you don't believe God?
No, that's not true.
And it's just
because God deals a lot with the mind.
Absolutely.
He created the mind. He talked. So, and he understood his surroundings. And if you want to really heal, you have to deal with your mind.
Yeah. So that makes it. I was speaking with a counselor. I had interviewed, a licensed therapist, and he's not a pastor, but he does incorporate scripture in his therapy sessions.
Absolutely.
When he knows it's acceptable to the person. Right. Because there's definitely a correlation between God's word and man's mind.
Absolutely.
So that when you were going through the process of schooling and you were learning more and more techniques and different I guess I don't want to say professors, but the person's theories, the experts' theories. Were you now becoming illuminated on, wow, I can add this
Absolutely.
in how I handle my congregation? I can add that.
Absolutely. It even helped me with sermon delivery, how people retain information. I know I talk a lot about knowing your identity and your purpose. So when I think about Jeremiah 1, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Okay. I called you, ordained you as a prophet to the nation. And I always ask the question, who did God created you to be? Who did God create you to be versus who you've become?
Right.
So we talk about this thing, nature versus nurture. The nature is the abilities you were born with. It's in it, it's inside of you. But then you have the nurture, how your environment affects you. Like when you're a child, you could dream. You have this imagination. You can be anything you want.
That's right.
But your environment now say, oh, you crazy. That's child, you can't do that. You're around negativity, and after a while you stop dreaming. After a while your hope goes away. You stop pushing and you start taking on toxic norms of others.
Gotcha.
And you just start conforming to your surrounding versus what you were born here to be.
Yeah.
So
can a person be filled with the Spirit and still need therapy?
Absolutely. If you filled with the Spirit, I'm sure He would lead you to therapy. He will lead, and
he'll make you realize that's what's needed.
And it's crazy. Okay. I believe that even from the pastoral aspect, a lot of people spiritualize mental illness. I think it's the spiritual.
They may call it a demon or something.
Yeah, or they may call it God.
It may be a wound.
Or God told me.
Oh, okay.
That's the new thing. The Lord told me this. The Lord told me that. Or is it the Lord of the Rings, or is it the Lord? I'm a comedian.
Love it.
And we it's like going to church and it became a new drug.
Yes.
And we deal with the symptom and not the tumor. So we shout, we cry, and sometimes it's frustration or anxiety triggers.
Okay.
Then we go home and we back
dealing with
the next service.
My God. First of all, I should have mentioned minutes ago, you are the pastor of the Now Church.
That's right.
The Now Church, which I was questioning the name, and then I realized it's actually an acronym as well.
Absolutely.
Which is?
The Nation of Wells.
The well.
That produces wells. Absolutely. The well that produces wells, which actually the church that I grew up in, St. Matthew's Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ, and how that name came about. One day I had a vision that I was walking up the hill, and when in the vision I saw a lot of people lined up at the church. They was in front of the gate, and the line went past. It was going down Sterling Place, past Rochester, down to Utica. And I was like, what are these people doing here? In the vision, I asked them, I said, what's happening? They said, we're thirsty.
Wow.
So I said, I didn't turn them away. I said, listen, I don't know how many bottles of water I have in there, but I'm going to give it to you. But when I opened the door and went in the church and went towards the front, there was a well in the middle of the floor of water. And I said, listen, everybody could get a drink. That's what I said. And I told the church that vision that Sunday, and everybody just said, the well. I said, yeah, the well. And everybody been calling it the well ever since. And you know how people are. They hear the well. That's a common name now.
Okay.
So God gave me the Nation of Wells, the well that produces wells.
That's excellent.
And I also pastor Friendship Baptist Church.
Okay.
In Roslyn Heights, New York.
Roslyn Heights, New York.
Yeah, they've been established for 96 years. I've been pastoring there for 4 years.
So wow. Now, how did that come about?
Wow. Well, my 17th year of pastoring, I was sitting at my anniversary in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Somebody was talking to me, and I was saying to the Lord, I said, I don't think I could do another 17 more years of this. And
why'd you say that?
It's rough.
Why'd you let that come out your mouth?
Right, literally. And right after that, a pastor that I knew passed away at that church. He was there for about 18 years.
Had you had fellowship with them already?
Fellowship with them prior. Okay. Didn't have no thought of pastoring there. But there were some things going on. When pastors die, things happen. So one of the deacons called me and said, hey, Pastor Haynes, we need you to come to a meeting. There's a lot going on. So I said, I don't know if I'll just show up to no Baptist meeting.
Right.
But when I got there, it was a little heated. There were people all outside the church. Everybody looked past the Haynes. I said, they said, what you doing here? I said, ain't it a prayer meeting tonight? They said, there are cops up the block. I said, is there a prayer meeting tonight?
Yes.
They said, no, yeah. I said, no, it's a prayer meeting tonight. Ain't it Wednesday? I said, that's what we come to do. We came to pray. The next thing we prayed. Long story short, and when I left, God said, those will be your people. I said, I know. I said, I know you lie, So I kind of disappeared, faded out for a while.
Sure.
And during the time, they had put an ad up that they were looking for a new pastor, such and such, the qualifications and all that. That Sunday morning I saw it. God said, apply for it. I said, I'm not applying for that.
Sure.
Went to the church that same morning. It was a letter from the church. I guess they were sending letters out to pastors they know that could refer somebody. Sister Brian came to me and said, oh, Pastor, there's a letter from Friendship. I said, they must be wanting to come preach a revival. It was the same letter that I saw on Facebook and Instagram. I said, oh, I'll see. I'll see what God says. He said, I told you to apply. God used a friend of mine to call me and say, whatever God is telling you to do, you better do it.
You better do it, yeah.
I said, well, I never did a resume before. For a church. I don't apply for church. I'm a pastor. I'm not doing no resume, but I never did.
Sure.
So I did it and turned it in. And they had 18 other candidates. They called me for an interview. I said, God just wanted to see if I was going to be obedient. Because who wants to pastor? You got to be crazy or called or both.
Okay.
So went to the interview. The Spirit of God was in the interview. And when I left, I said, I felt like I was in a church service. So they called and said, Pastor, can you do the month of May? Can you do like 2 Bible studies and 2 Sundays? I said, I can work it out. I'll do it. Then they said, can you do the whole month? I preached it. He's a God of progression. And sure enough, they said, well, the people wanted to vote then. We don't even want to wait till the election. Can we want them? And after that, they had the election. I said, no, I might not really get it. I just wanted to see if I was going to be obedient. And sure enough.
How are you such a down Thomas?
Huh?
How are you such a down Thomas?
You know what it was? I was trying to talk myself out of it.
Okay.
At first I was just like, he just wanted to see if I was going to be obedient. He might not give it, He just wanted to see if I was going to listen to him.
That sounds like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it was. Because I didn't want to, I was just saying, I'm not going to pass up. But no, I think I could do another 17 more years.
Gotcha.
And what happened, once the Lord solidified it and said, hey, this is what it's going to be, I thought I was going to be able to escape St. Matthew the Well.
Yes.
The Now Church. And I said, okay, I'll just oversee it. I have somebody there. The person I had in mind wasn't ready. I'll just be the clean version. He wasn't ready. So I tried to kind of escape. God said, I didn't tell you to get rid of the other church either. You're going to pastor both of them.
Nice.
So at this point, when my anniversary comes around, I don't say what I'm quiet now. If somebody prophesied I see 2 more churches. I said, you have cataracts. I said, you ain't going to put that on me. No, I don't see it.
Marijuana is legal, and we need to get you a joint because the cataracts is acting up.
There's
no way you saw 2 more churches in your vision. Oh my God, that's too funny. That is too funny, man. It's just you've mentioned several times. God speaking to you. How does He speak to you similarly from when you were young to where you are now? Or did it progress in His voice or in the way that He communicates with you directly?
I can say there's a variety of ways that He speaks. I understand His. I knew His voice from a young age, but I really, really, really know it because He speaks to me in different ways. An example: one day I was very discouraged. And I was in my car, and I'm like, I'm tired. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't talk to nobody. And in that moment on the radio, it had to be 107.5. A song just came on saying, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Yeah. Whenever you need. And that hook, it was a commercial, but they only played that part. And in that moment, I knew that God was talking to me. And I knew, and that's my favorite song to this day.
Okay.
I know the content was a breakup song.
Yeah.
but that hook
is,
in that moment was like, hey, this is God speaking to me, even with this rebuilding of my home church.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
They were saying, oh, God might want you. Oh, you might be the next pastor. You gonna have to take this over. And I said to them, if God want me to do it, I could find it in the Word. He gonna speak to me through the Word. And sure enough, I opened my Bible that night, and it just fell on the book of Nehemiah, and I just started reading it. And I said, "Oh, rebuilding the walls."
Rebuilding the walls.
And that's what I knew. So He speaks to me in many ways. He'll send somebody.
Yeah.
To me. Actually, we did a service the other week. At the church, the French church over in Elmont.
Yes.
And people don't realize, even with my voice, sometimes I don't think I can sing that well, or I don't think I can play like everybody else. You know, and the man came to me. He said, "You are God sent."
Really?
God.
See, I didn't know this happened. This is after I left, probably.
Yeah. He came up to me and said, "You are God sent." Oh man, your voice was so angelic. Oh man, you were born for this. God sent you here for this. And I said, "Wow, thank you." And that's sometimes He'll just send somebody to just encourage you or say something
at the time. Wow.
Or I have an even more serious service experience. Rather, I left a service at Julius Sloan Church one evening. And I was talking about how you have to shift, and you got to know God's voice when He's telling you to shift. That night, I went to pick somebody up not too far from King's Plaza. And in the car, for some reason, it felt like someone was in the car with me. I was by myself, but I said, "Let me move out of this lane and move to the next lane." But when I said it, I'm like, "Well, I'm talking like somebody's in the car with me," and it felt like someone. And as soon as I moved, I heard this screeching. A car was coming out of control, hit another car from where I just moved, and his car went into a pole and burst into flames.
Oh my God!
And I saw a man burning out, and
I right out the way,
moved out, and I was like, and I just said it. But in fact, somebody's in the car with me in the back seat, and I said, "Let me move out." And I'm saying, "Why am I talking loud?" Like I'm talking to someone, but I believe that was just God just saying, "Move out the way."
That's excellent. It's so important that people know that God is very real. He still talks to His people.
Absolutely.
And He definitely protects us.
Absolutely.
He definitely covers us.
And it's not always something so deep, because people think God is just this, you know, or thunder, and you know, He's very simple. You can look at a bird and He'll talk to you.
Right.
You can look at the trees and He'll speak to you.
I always share the story that I admired this beautiful tree for so long, and then we had a heavy wind and it cracked and the inside of the tree was rotten. And that gave me the sermon of, you look beautiful on the outside, but what's on the inside,
man,
and you can't see it until pressure
comes. Oh man.
And it reveals it. So yes, if you just stay in tune with your environment,
absolutely,
definitely. What's more what's harder to rebuild, a church building or broken people?
Man, I believe it's broken people.
Okay.
It's broken people. With a building, you could just say, "Hey, you get a contractor," and they tell you what you need, and yes, you can show. And that's people. Sometimes with people, building broken people, the challenge is they don't even know they're broken.
Oh wow. Okay. Right. That's true.
Some people don't think that. Some people don't even think they're broken. They don't think they need repair. Because once you start trying to help them become whole, there's some things even that they're holding on to. Like I like to always say, toxic norms. Well, this is how I was raised. This is how I've been. My mama told me. But you start realizing everything your mother taught you wasn't right.
It was what she knew at the time.
And what she knew. Or sometimes maybe she raised you based off of her trauma.
Exactly. Right.
So building broken people, it's really a challenge. It's a challenge, but it's rewarding when you see their growth.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what does real restoration look like?
Yeah, it's rewarding. Like you see, I've seen people recover from alcoholism, drug addiction. I'm seeing brothers coming to Christ, and some of their marriages are getting healed. I see mother and daughter relationships being mended, because I'm able to show them things maybe they never noticed, or some things they didn't pay attention to.
Right. You had mentioned that sometimes people don't know they're broken. Is that one of the goals of sermons, is to challenge us?
Yes.
To see ourselves for who we should be, maybe?
Who we should be versus what we were created to be, who we were created to be versus who we've become.
Okay.
Who were you before you were disappointed? Who were you before you had trust issues? Because some people have control issues because they have trust issues.
Okay.
So you start allowing them to see, they're like, wait a minute, I never looked at it like that.
Right. And they're controlling because of the lack of trust to keep themselves safe.
Nobody's gonna hurt
feel
me
as
again.
being safe, right?
Right. Or you lash out. People that's trying to bless you, you don't. How many blessings many people turn down because they felt that they weren't good enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, how much help we turn down because, it's too good to be true. They too nice. Why they smiling? You know, they smile too much.
We laugh about how many people don't get together because the other person is too nice.
Yeah.
And they asking for a mate, but then when they get sent one, they too nice. They
go turn on you soon as you. And you know that movie that Tyler Perry he did, I believe it was Reunion, when the man just took the kids out for ice cream. She woke up, you're not gonna hurt me no more. He said, all I did was take the ice cream.
Yeah,
she said,
put them guards down. Okay,
and it's challenging. The people that you're trying to help become whole, you're the one that they're gonna attack most of the time because you're challenging them out of something that that they were comfortable in so long. Moses, they cried to get out of Egypt. He came to save them. They're attacking him.
When are we gonna get this and that?
He brought us out here to die.
Now, you're the pastor of the Now Church. What happens when people delay in obedience?
Man, when people
delay, part of the Now is Now, and the other is Nation of Wells,
right?
But when they disobey, when they delay obedience, what does that
delay obedience to me or God?
Oh, to God.
The problem. See, people must understand that there's a price to disobedience. Anytime God tells you to do something, it's definitely for a reason, whether you understand it or not. But the price is that there are other casualties.
Right.
So what I do or what you do as an individual doesn't just affect you. It affects your family. It affects those that you work with.
Right.
Because if I'm obedient and blessed, and because I'm at a place and people are being blessed because I'm there,
right?
What's gonna happen if I choose to be disobedient? There'll be residual effects.
Got you.
So you can't really delay on obedience because you're gonna miss something. When you're
not
obedient,
only you're gonna miss something, but you can cause
other people
to get.
Look at Jonah.
Okay.
Jonah was disobedient. Although he paid his fare to get on the ship, he was and the reality is sometimes you won't experience the effects of disobedience because you're so comfortable in being disobedient. But while he was down below deck sleep, the other people up there screaming, what's happening? We in the storm. We get ready to die. And you're comfortable.
Yeah.
So because you're comfortable in disobedience, who is it affecting?
It's affecting the whole lot. That's amazing.
So your delay is going to delay other things.
Because we are all connected.
We are all connected.
We're all connected. And that's sometimes hard to accept, because when we're feeling down, sometimes we like to isolate.
Yeah, true.
And we need to, I've even been challenged on going certain places. Your mind starts telling you, they won't miss you.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, you are so blessed.
Yeah, that
by the event, so yeah. Oh man. So you also now you're pastoring too. Oh, I wanted to ask that question. You came up in Disciple of Christ, Church of Christ.
Yeah, Church of Christ.
And now Fellowship is a Baptist church.
Friendship.
Friendship.
Friendship is always, they've been a Baptist church by name, but they're very non-denominational.
Okay, because I was going to ask you how's the nuances of denomination, because I know with some denominations they are so rigid in their doctrine.
Strict. But what I love about it, they were already progressive.
Good.
Before I got there, the pastor, prior to me, Pastor Victor J. Lewis, he was progressive. He did a lot before I got there. So when I came, it wasn't as hard.
Good.
Hard for me.
Because a lot of new pastors have resistance.
Well, I did have resistance.
And I was going to say, was there a sect within the church that was?
There was a lot of resistance, and it wasn't from the older people.
Was not?
It was not from the older people. You know, I don't have no problem with my seniors.
Nice,
you know,
nice.
It was more of a power struggle.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you're going into a new place. You have people that want to pastor the pastor.
Right.
And, you know, at the end of the day, God called me to pastor.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if anything go down, if anybody's going to be held accountable, guess who it's going to be?
Gonna be you.
The pastor. Not saying
both naturally and spiritually.
And spiritually. Oh yeah. Oh, you know they're coming naturally and spiritually.
Yeah.
And so what people got to understand when it comes to even pastoring, whether you built your church or coming into one, you got to be more afraid of God and reverence God than the people, because the people are they're like dogs. If they sniff fair, they're gonna monopolize. They go, okay. So you have to really hold your ground, but also not be arrogant, but be stern, but yet still be loving, kind, and a whole lot of patience.
Whole lot of patience.
So I'm in a whole lot better place there now than I was in the beginning, but which comes natural. You got different styles of leadership.
Right.
You have different styles of preaching, different styles of church. So it's a cultural thing a little bit too. So for the most part, things are really looking up.
Nice. Would you consider yourself a visionary?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you can see I have the ability to look at something that most people would see nothing, and I'm like, whoa, look at this.
Yeah. Well, St. Matthew's is a testimony.
Absolutely.
Because you took it from rubble to the now church, which I'm seeing very beautiful pictures of.
Thanks, man.
You know, everything came together real nice.
Yes,
I mean, from the front doors.
Oh yeah, we just did the doors over. We just did the doors over because I'm always looking for ways to upgrade, keep things new, keep things fresh. But the way it looked, we may need a bigger building eventually. Thank God.
Right.
That's a good problem, you know.
Absolutely.
But years ago when I saw people thought I was crazy. He can't build that. He's a little boy. He can't do that all. But we kept building.
But the naysayers had to apologize.
There was the few. They were the few to my team.
Yeah. I've always wondered. You've been blessed. What would you attribute your growth to when so many ministries are failing? Man. And you're actually growing. You're growing, and you got 2 churches and only 21 years of pastoring. I'm gonna say only. 38 years old, which is phenomenal. And I'm laughing because I hope my audience picks it up. There's a tone of authority that you put on. It's a nuance.
Wow.
When you ain't gonna take no mess from nobody.
Oh yeah.
You know, because you're a really nice guy, very friendly, very approachable. But I saw a little tinge of, listen, this is really how it needs to happen.
Absolutely.
But get back to my original question. What would you attribute to your growth in an environment when ministries are failing by the thousands?
I would just attribute having the heart of God. And just loving people. And walking in integrity to the best of your ability. To my growth. Yeah. You know, I would attribute that to my growth because I couldn't have did it without the heart of God.
Okay.
And in a time where, yes, the growth as well, when people can see finance is a big thing.
Right.
When people can see where their money going.
Okay. Right.
That's gonna have people want to come. They're gonna want to. Wow, God, we don't have to. Oh, what happened to the building fund money? No, when we do something, you know. But as far as growth, just really learning who I am, constantly being self-reflective. One thing I like to do, because one thing as a pastor, I don't blame everything on everybody else. Because I look at my weaknesses and I figure out how can I become better, not just as a pastor, but as a person.
Right.
You know, so I'm always self-reflective, examining myself and really staying humble, man.
That's great. That's great. Do you have an international outreach? Do you go?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been to Jamaica. I stay in Trinidad.
Do you?
I stay in Trinidad. Some great pastor friends out there. We help ministries out there. We fellowship.
Okay.
We do leadership, workshops and different things. So I
travel across the world. Have you noticed a faith difference in international faith as opposed to American faith?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Do share.
They believe God on a whole different level. than we do. I know when I was in Jamaica, the people walked to church with no shoes on. There were times where they didn't have power in the building. We was in church, the power would go out, and the people worship God even harder. I remember the lights went out and dogs started circling around the church. Dogs. Wow. And we kept praying, praising God, casting out demons. One lady was pregnant for 2 years and 9 months. She had some type of it was something weird, a lot of witchcraft. But the people overall, we believe God, and miracles were performed in America. Hate to say it, it's more entertainment driven. People want to come, they want to be entertained. And there's the little thing. Oh, what we gonna do? They get a cold. They're not coming. They're not coming. It rained.
I was going to say clouds in the sky.
Fair weather things. There's any little thing. But
and here are people with no shoes that's making their way to
church through all types of circumstances. Man. They don't care about the music's not sounding good, the singing. They go all the way in. They go all the way in with no restraints. But here we got, come on. They don't sound that good. It's not about that. And they really serve.
So they're missing the mark, I guess. Because okay.
You're missing it.
You mentioned about the sound isn't good. I want to talk about your music and how does music get you places in your sermon that or should I say, how does music get the congregation places that maybe the sermon can't?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, when you study, I think music, especially the black church, that's a big part of our culture. We're emotional people. Let's not get it twisted. We love some good music. We love food. So that when you look at even as African descent, there's food. There's music. When you look at our black churches, what is it? Food. Somebody frying chicken. We have some good music, and we have some preaching. So most times, you can have the service. Sometimes the sermon get it, but it's the music that get that thing down to your soul. Because that's just how we celebrate out there.
Vibration.
Yeah, something about that vibration. That's where we come from. Years ago in Africa, it would be one of the old wise men. He would tell the story of the village in the middle. He have his guitar, and he would. So it's a culture. So we hear it. It's already in us.
It's already in our DNA.
It's in our DNA. So,
beautiful.
So not saying that emotionalism isn't good. God gives us emotions. We need, we got to have an emotional experience.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that's the gravy pond the rice, as they would say in Jamaica. That's gravy pond the rice. That's gravy pond the rice. So music is a big part of our worship experience. Sometimes,
and you go ahead.
Sometimes I'm smart enough to know as a pastor, sometimes my sermon might not get it. Somebody might get it through the melody of the music. Somebody may get it through the worship song. And after that, you're like, okay. And there are times when the worship is so high. I'm saying, listen, God already spoke.
He spoke. We don't have to bring him down.
Right. And it comes to hearing God and being sensitive to know, hey, I can't override God. I'm going to stop what God is doing or interjecting what He has already done to get up there and say my speech.
Right.
It's not about me in this moment. Exactly. It's about, sometimes He may say, hey, the worship, start praying for people today.
Right.
What are you going to do? Well, I got this sermon I wanted to preach.
I worked on it for a whole week.
Yeah. And that happened to me. I worked on the sermon, man. You could have told me I was looking at the Hebrew word and this, the backdrop. And while I was sitting at my desk, my office at home, God said to me, He said, that's a good sermon, but how that's going to help the people that you're going to stand before today? I wasn't there ready to. And that's for most pastors. You got to remember that we are not here to impress our congregations. We are here to impact them.
We need to say that one more.
Yeah.
I always say one more again.
Yeah, I'm going to say it one more again. We are not here to impress our congregations. We are here to impact their lives. And that's what's most important, because you can have the big vocabulary there, Hebrew, Greek, but how that's going to help Sheila She just got beat up by her husband or boyfriend before she came to church. And you up here
and
using big words.
Trying to decide if she's going back home after this service.
Right. Somebody, a child that was molested before they came to church, or the child that got molested and they watching one of the people serving the church that did it to him. And you up here, so you gotta listen. So we got to act and not impress.
Yeah. How important is social media in today's church?
Social media is important. There's some pros and there are some cons. But it's very important, especially if you want to get the word out. You want to update people on what's happening. Or you want to get highlights of your service and show what types of things that your ministry offer. It's important. Going live, I'm starting to get a little wary about it because live, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't
want anything detrimental happen.
Right. So I believe we should record our services and edit them later and post because there may be a time when you want to correct something that's happening as a pastor in your house. And somebody will take that little clip and next thing you're viral.
We've seen that over and over. And then they judge the whole ministry based on that correction.
That one clip.
Or the person, I should say. Yeah. They'll judge the pastor on that correction.
Yeah. So it's important, but it's more important to know how to use it. You got to come up with a strategy for your house. So it's very important.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I did see on your social media where you came out the front doors.
Oh man!
You came out the front doors and went into the street.
Oh yes, sir.
Yes. How should churches show up in the streets?
Man, I believe that in that situation, I was in the pulpit preaching, and it happens. I get overwhelmed, and sometimes God just lead me out into the street. And the funny part about it is that when I went out there in that particular video, because it's another one that went viral. It was a brother that just came out. He was walking up the block and just fell in my arm. Pray for my mind. Wow. And I cried when I went back inside. I said, God led me out of the pulpit right at that time, just to meet that. If it was just for that brother, that needed prayer for his mind.
Yeah.
I said that was amazing that I was so sensitive to what God wanted to do. But there are other times I'm thinking about showing up in the street. My next goal is to go to the dog park.
Okay.
In Tompkins Park with some dog treats, bowls of water, some poop bags and stuff to give out, and show up there and just do a form of ministry. Because people love their dogs.
Oh yeah, more than their children.
So I believe there's no cookie cutting version for the church to show up on the streets, but when you do show up on the street, you just got to be real. You got to be authentic.
Yeah.
There's going to be times you go out there with the power like I did. But there's going to be times you just walk through and be like, hey, God bless you. What's going on, bro?
I want my audience to know how authentic you are. What is your Instagram handle?
Travy Trav.
Travy Trav.
Yeah, Travy Trav 87. They're going to be Pastor Trav. That's it. They're going to be Travy Trav.
I said Travy _Trav.
Yep, 87
for his year of birth.
Yep. And the funny part
is IG. And I love, you see how eloquently dressed he is. He's definitely a gentleman, but he knows how to throw on a baseball hat, and he knows how to throw on a fur and a few other things.
Change your clothes in the car. I got my case in the car, trust me.
So you've been successful in creating a balance for yourself. Who are your mentors?
One of my mentors, Dr. R.A. Vernon. He's out in Cleveland, Ohio, the Word Church.
Okay.
He's impacted me since 2010. And I go down there and chop it up with him. He have a conference I go to, and he's very hands-on. He gives me advice.
Okay.
So, Dr. R.A. Vernon, he's amazing. My pastor, Marvin G. Gatlin.
Okay.
And Bishop Gregory Martin.
Okay.
You know, those guys I really look up to.
Yeah.
And I have my circle of brothers.
I was going to say, who are some of your local brothers?
I don't want to get jealous.
Oh, okay. We'll leave that. He got some cool.
But I do have some brothers. They know because we chop it up all the time.
He got some cool brothers. Yeah. So this has been very informative. And how important was mentorship for you in guiding you in the success of your ministry?
Oh, it was.
Without it, as opposed to with it.
Without it, I probably would have crashed and burned a long time ago.
Okay.
But even with Dr. R.A. Vernon, following his ministry and going to his conferences and even talking one-on-one with him when I get a chance to, he let me know that, hey, just because you love Shirley Caesar don't mean the whole church want to hear Shirley Caesar. He said, so you got to reach beyond yourself to see the needs of the people, what's happening. You got to always constantly change. If you want to last another 20 more years, you got to depend on people that are professionals in certain areas.
Okay.
So you may not know about marketing strategy. Talk to some people that knows about it. Even sermon prep sometimes. Look at different styles. Talk to some people. Bring some people.
Yeah.
So he gives you some practical things, So without mentorship, I think I'd have probably still been in the ooh. So if you could even look at the Now Church, how it looks now with the lighting and the stage. My brother Terrell, he's that's my brother, Terrell Young.
Yes.
He kind of keeps me,
Shout out to Terrell.
Yeah, he keeps me, kind of up to date on certain things. Give me some different perspective.
And you're young, but he just happened to be a little younger.
Just a little bit younger. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm able to kind of lighten some things I didn't want to do, but I did it.
Well, what advice would you give new preachers?
What advice I would give new preachers? Listen, find your own voice. Don't try to be anybody else. God created you with your style, with your voice for a reason. Find yourself. Stick with who God created you to be. Don't compete with anybody. Be secure in who you are. Study.
My God.
Study. Walk with integrity. Not saying that you're going to be perfect. That was a flaw. Listen, you're going to make mistakes. I wish I knew it was okay to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to slip, but don't ice skate.
I like that.
You're going to slip sometime. You're young, but don't ice skate. There's a difference, So just find your voice. Serve your leader. If you're under a pastor, be faithful, be committed, and God will exalt you in due time. There's some things that you may not understand that your pastor is doing, but trust me, it's all for the best. It's all for the best. So find your voice. Know who you are. Don't try to be anybody else other than yourself.
My God, that is excellent. I've seen young preachers come up, and they, I would be privy to their conversations, and they want to put the older pastors out to pasture as if they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And I've seen a couple of them step out.
Yeah.
And then have to come back and apologize.
Absolutely.
Because they didn't know what it was really like, what their lead pastor was carrying, that he spared the younger male or female preacher from.
Yeah.
And that's why you said stay faithful until due season.
That's it.
It's really important for God to move you and not for you to move yourself.
Oh man.
Yeah. You want to speak on that?
Yeah, you can't. You have to really stay in the timing of God, man. Because watch this, is once you step out of His timing, once you step from under His covering, you're now prone to unwarranted attack. Some things you wasn't even thinking about that's going to attack you. You have to.
So that's like stepping outside of the hedge.
Yeah, and literally.
And now things that couldn't see you,
right,
now see you.
And some people got the gift, but they don't have the character. Some guys, I know there's some young preachers. You need to understand, just because you can out preach your senior pastor don't mean you're qualified to pastor. You may have the gift,
right? But
that don't mean you're called to pastor. A lady named Mother Wolf told me that she was 100 when she died.
Oh my God! Okay.
I just sit around the old people all the time. Yeah, she told me one day, she said, I had a pastor, and he wasn't a good preacher, but he could pastor so well.
Right.
And she said, that's when I learned that every good pastor is not a good preacher. Every good preacher is not a good pastor. And I never forgot that.
I've come to find out that pastoring may be a little more important than preaching.
Yes.
If you're a good pastor, they can give you grace.
Yeah.
On the preaching side.
Yeah. Because people get caught up in
But
styles.
if you're a great preacher and you can't pastor, you don't get the same grace.
No, you don't. Because what you got to understand, preaching is only not even 5% of what pastoring is. You're dealing with budgets. You're dealing with all kind of stuff.
All kind of stuff, yeah.
Build the structures. You're dealing with every aspect of the church. Then you have the people that are sick.
Right.
People calling, you know what, I'm dying. Or calling you, actually, the doctor said this, and you're helping people to make life or death decisions.
My God.
You know, or people coming, or you holding somebody's hand while they're dying.
Right.
I'm about to cry. There's a dark side to pastoring that people will never understand. They see the anniversary, they see you preaching in the pulpit, but that's not half of what it is. Or carrying everybody else's weight.
Right.
And you sit down one day when you have nothing to do and all the weight of your life falls on you, and you're like, well, who can I talk to?
That's what I was going to ask. Do you have a network that you can release?
Yeah, and all
of that pain.
Yeah, because sometimes you just get numb because you're so caught up in everybody else's stuff. And I actually hit a low a few months ago. Okay. Maybe 3 months ago now. Okay. And for some reason, it was overwhelming. I sent some of my friends some messages.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm finished. I'm done. And
so you did come to a point where you wanted to let it go.
Oh, I wanted to let it go, man. Now, I've never felt that way a day in my life. But all of a sudden, these things started happening. It started maybe a week prior. I was in the car talking to one of my close brothers. He's a friend of mine. We were coming from eating. We was on Southern State. And I know it wasn't the voice of God, and I know it wasn't my voice because I don't think like that night. Right. He said, we just talking. Open the door and just while the car just fall out on the road. I said, I know you lying.
Yeah, that was a lie.
Yeah. Because that's nothing I've never experienced. Then prior to that low I hit, I text him. I'm like, I'm finished. I'm done. And I left home. I drove to Brooklyn. I said, I'm going to go to my apartment where I used to live, but it's still there. And I said, I'm going where it started. That's where it's going to end. And I parked, and I'm a creature of habit sometimes. So my close friends, they found me. Terrell was calling, everybody was calling. One of my friends, a cop, and God let me. And it's funny, the voice of God. I was going down one street, and I turned off. I said, I don't want them to find me. And sure enough, I said, I'm going to run into them. And I went, turned on Mother Gas, and I was going to park in front of Mount Olive because they know I'm a creature of habit.
Right.
I went to park there. I was coming up Mother Gaston. I saw one of my bros. I said, oh, man, he saw me. I hope he didn't see me, but he kept going. And I seen him bust a U. There was traffic. So I started. I saw him because he a cop, so he started.
Okay.
Then he pulled me up at the light. Yo, where you going? You going to the church? I said, oh, man. Two of my bros, they didn't leave me that night, though, but I'm glad that they were there.
Yeah.
Those are the brothers. And the brothers that showed up, they're not preachers.
Okay.
They showed up, they were not preachers. So I hit that low. So you start thinking about people hanging you was holding while they dying. Yeah. I'm singing with one of my members. She crying, I'm crying, and I asked God. I said, Lord, they said she won't make it through the night. I said, just perform one more miracle. Let her get through to the next day. She lived to 11 a.m. the next morning. That was the one. I said, just one more miracle.
Just one more miracle, yeah.
So it's a dark side to pastoring that people don't understand. They just want to get up there. And the anniversary, the money you get from the anniversary, they don't out to all the money you put out. It doesn't,
It takes money to operate ministry,
right?
And it's not all in your pocket.
No, it ain't sweet.
But yeah, the dark side is something. We're praying for you. I thank God you got through it.
Oh yeah.
You are through it, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Right. And I ain't gonna listen.
I don't want to be so presumptuous.
No, I'm doing it.
You my brother, and I love you to life. So
love you to life
I want nothing but the best for you. And you've Dr. Travis has sang to the glory of the Lord and blessed so many families that I've served in the funeral business. And I mean, yeah, he's not preaching, he's singing. And the song selection, and I know he reads the room. I know he reads the room because he's not cookie cutter. He doesn't come in and do the same 2-3 songs. He kind of feels them out, and I've seen families transform, and I know he's received hugs thank yous and just accolades from the ministry of music that you have performed. So I thank you for that, and I can only imagine, what the ministries are experiencing from you, being that you're delivering God's word to them. So wow, I like that. Remember, there's a dark side to ministry, and we're not talking about the negative side of ministry. We're talking about the challenging, the weight of the side that, everyone sees the glory, but they don't get to see the other side. And so we want to pray for our preachers. We want to pray for those that are legitimate, and that's one of the reasons he's here, because if I knew he was a messy person as an individual, I wouldn't ask him to be here to interview.
I know that's true. Yeah, I know that's true. That's why I'm honored to be here.
So I just want to say thank you. I shared with Dr. Travis that it's important that we document our legacy.
Yes, indeed.
And I don't know if these videos are going to mean anything in the future, in the far future, the near future, but it was laid on my heart to do it, and to do it with certain people. So we want to thank him for being on Legacy Chat, sharing your walk, and there's so much more to him than what we shared. But obviously we can't stick it all in the time frame that we've allotted for one another. But I appreciate you coming out, man.
It's an honor. And listen, he's the only one that could actually get me to do this. It feels so comfortable. I'm camera shy. Outside of singing, preaching, the play, I'm shy. But this was the most.
This isn't one of your first interviews, is it?
No, but this is one of the best ones I had.
See, I don't know. I'm about to let you check on that one. I'll let you.
The best one I had. It was just kicking it with my brother.
Yeah.
One of the best funeral directors ever. One of the best. The way he get it, from the way he speak. Everything. This is my guy, y'all. I owe him something. I owe him lunch too. He filled in for me one night.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. I texted him, my brother. I was like, "Do you know you're on the program? And since you're not here, they asked me to do."
You know what? And the funny thing, that was that weekend when I went through that low, and I was like, I didn't have a good. That was actually that weekend. I said, I can't. I'm not even emotionally there to even be around.
Yeah.
That was actually that's funny. It was that during that time. You stood in for me during that time.
This is ordained that we connected the way that we're connecting, and this is Holy Week for we're not time stamping it, but you got some powerhouse people coming in for the seven last sayings.
Oh yeah, man.
Man, on Friday
night in Brooklyn.
Friday you got Dr. Walls.
Yeah.
Lady Freeman.
Yep, Freeman.
Up Chapel
will be there.
Reverend Hicks.
Yep, Bryce Hicks.
Reverend Brown.
Cheyenne Brown. Pastor Aaron Holmes.
My brother Aaron Holmes. Church of God. Not Church of God. Church of Christ. Disciple of Christ.
Aaron Holmes.
Phenomenal man. And another young starting preacher. Michael Gross.
Yeah.
Another dinette man.
He just started pastoring a few months ago.
Yeah, in Harlem. Another young preacher, man. I'm so proud of you guys. That God spoke to you at an early age, and you answered your call. And it's my prayer that God gives you the desires of your heart.
Thank you so much.
He gives you the right wife. He gives you, once you got the right wife, you're gonna have beautiful children, without a doubt. But just to continue to give you the strength to do all that He's blessing you with, and for you to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to be happy, but it's wonderful to have joy. Absolutely. And I got that from my psychology friend. He said, you got to have joy.
Got to have joy.
It's a lot better than being happy.
That's true.
My man.
Love you to life, man.
Thank you so much.
Listen, it was an honor.
And
this was an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.